G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS Supercoach channel. And today we're going to go through a different type of video today. So it's not talking about players as such. It's going to be kind of helping you out with your first 7 to 9 weeks of Supercoach and how you want to kind of plan your first 9 weeks out, because it's very important, I think, to, plan it out a bit ahead of time. So I'm recording this on the Friday. I spent about maybe 2-3 hours doing this. I know that seems like a lot for not much, but I was trying to think of different ways to think of bringing different like elements to this and talking points. So we'll go through this first. So I didn't really get made aware of the trades and trade boosts until a couple days ago. So it says unlimited trade boost now. You'll then be able to trade 3 players after the conclusion of each week for each and every game week, which means it's kind of like, it's not like Supercoach like the AFL where you get 20-something trades. You get 3 trades a week. So it's more that, are you going to use your boosts early on, or are you going to save them towards the later back end of the season? So that's really cool. It's like you can trade up to 3 guys, and it's really good for the NBA, considering that there's a lot of injuries. There's 30 teams, 82 games. People are going to be on load management. So I think it's really good how Supercoach have done that and made it easier to build a team who are and have players who are playing each week. It's good if you've got a guy who's injured for maybe a week or 2, you can just get rid of them because they're going to be no good. They're going to be no good making money for you. So I reckon it's really good. So it's players maybe traded right through the week during the trades are not transferable. We knew that. We knew what dual position trades are. It's very explanatory. Trade boosts provide the ultimate flexibility. Yep. For up to 5 game weeks during the season at your choosing, you can activate trade boost for a 4th trade during that week. So let's go to the fixturing here. And there is 24 weeks in the NBA season. So, I mean, that's pretty decent. I'll be referring to this website. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check back on, definitely. But let's talk about this, because I think it's going to be a bit disappointing if you have a team with like a lot of like guys who are starting for your team who have a lot of 2s. So I've kind of narrowed it down in a way. So you've got the team here, like the same setup as that. The total amount of games they play up until week 7. I'm not counting week 8 and 9 because they're down here. So up to week 7, before week 8 and 9, where there's a lot of 2s, how many times they play 4-game weeks. So as you can see, Atlanta, for example, got 25 games during the first 7 weeks, and 4 of them are, playing 4 games. So that's the total amount of games. That's the game amount. So they're playing 4 games, and then how many times? 4 times. It's going to be the same here. They play 3. There's 3 games in these weeks, and it's 3 times. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know, and I can try. I'll try my best, because it makes sense to me, but probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people. So I'll try and say it again. That's the amount of times. So that's the week. So how many weeks have them playing 4 games? 4. There's 4 of them. And how many times? 4 times. Because as you can have a look, those are the 4 gamers. There's 4 of them. There's 2 3-gamers, and there's 1-2 for the Chicago Bulls. 1-2, 3 3s, and 3 4s. I hope that makes sense. So this is every team going into it. I'll let you have a screenshot of it if you want, or have a look. but I'll just scroll down to the bottom team here. If you want a screenshot, if you want. But one main talking point I want to talk about is the teams that play twos. So Charlotte, they have two. No, no, they have 1-2. Sorry, they got 1-2. Same with Chicago. Denver have 1-2. Houston's the really bad schedule at the start. On their end of the run, the season's really good. From like week, I want to say 12 or something like that. Yeah, Houston's a team to really avoid. Clippers and Lakers have 1-2 week. Orlando does. Philadelphia has 2, but they've also got 4-4s, which is interesting. Your first 5 weeks is a 2-4-4-2-4. It's a bit inconsistent for my liking, I'll be honest, because then you've got 3-4, and then the week 8 and 9 comes to play as well. So in your first 9 weeks, you've got 4-2s. You got 4-2s, 4-4s, and 1-3. That's just not good, in my opinion. You want teams, I'll explain it later. You want teams, for example, like that. Or you've got Clippers after week 2, they have 3-4s in a row. We'll keep going. Phoenix have 1. Sacramento have 1. That's a key one I'll talk about later. Utah and Washington. So to put it into perspective, the total games, these are the teams with the most games from 25, 24, 23, 21. Now, the talking points I have here, I didn't add this one, but it kind of relates to the consistency of no twos, and that's the Spurs and Wolves. So Spurs, as much as they only play 22 games, they don't have a single two for the whole year. So they're very good. Like they're reliable to play them each week. So go for them as far as I'm concerned. The only thing is that like maybe when there's a lot of teams having 4s and potentially 5s, that's probably where it's going to kill you. Like two more games is actually really crucial. So you probably want to time it right for that. Teams, for example, so the first week with, I hope this makes sense, a 2-gamer in the first week. So you've got the Bulls, Nuggets, Pelicans, and Jazz. Bulls, Nuggets, Pelicans, and Jazz don't have another one until that week 8 and 9 period. So, for example, I've got a couple Jazz players in my current team. I'm trying to think of some other guys, like maybe Chicago. Don't think I do, but I've got a couple Jazz guys. It's fine to have them in your original team, but you can't start them. You've got to have a bit of a reliability on your court when they're not when the Jazz players do have that 2-game in the first week. I hope that makes sense. And it's the same with the Pels. Like they have a 4 straight afterwards as well. Nuggets have a 3, then 4-3-4. Who else was it? Bulls have a 4 as well. So after this first week, it's okay to go for these teams. The two teams, sorry, or the rest of the teams. Who is it? It's Houston. And Houston and Philadelphia, the only 2 teams that I've got them here, teams to avoid first 7. The 2 big ones are Houston and Philly, just because Philadelphia have a 2 here. This is way too inconsistent, in my opinion. And same with Houston. Like your first 8 weeks, you've got 3 2s, 3 3s, and 2 4s. It's not good enough, in my opinion. 21 games as well. You kind of want to be stacking up on these teams. But the Raptors, I think, are the only decent one, and Hawks as well, because in week 8 and 9, they only play 5. They play 5 games instead of 4 as well. So best starts with, in my opinion, they're all really good starts. But if you want like kind of a more ranked, it's the Mavs and Warriors, because both teams start out with a 3 and I'll find there they are. So Dallas has a three, then goes with a three, then four, then three fours in a row. Same with Golden State. They have a three, then four threes in a row. Both of them do have the double twos in week 8 and 9. Um, and then the next best team, in my opinion, is probably the Pelicans after week 1, which I don't think enough people have really talked about. Not that there's like players who would really go for, but let's say, for example, Zion Williamson is playing 30 something minutes a game and he's looking super healthy and fit. He's playing really well. He's not like sitting out in key moments. I think it's a pretty fair opinion to go for Pelicans players during this period. Like they're going to get you points, particularly Zion. I'm trying to think, maybe Jordan Poole, but he's a shot chucker, so it's a bit. It's the only real guy that you're thinking for this area is probably Zion. Um, I've done teams to look at is Golden State Mavs, who I've already looked at, and I mean it's just the teams who are playing 25. So that's Bucks, Raptors, Hawks, Cavs. I did it in that order because Warriors and Mavs have the best. Then it's the Bucks because they go 3-3-4-4-3-4-4, and then Raptors they have three in a row here, so they're a bit later. But this is also a key one for the Raptors. They have 5, which is fine because I'll have a look down here. There's 10 teams that play 5 games in those 2 weeks compared to 17 teams that play 4. And then there's the 3 teams here, Wolves, Kings, and Spurs, who play 6, so the most. What I've done, the Lakers potentially is what I meant to do. Other teams you probably could look at is, oh, excuse me. Like I said, Bulls, Nuggets, Pels, and Jazz after week 1. So I know the Nuggets are here. Bulls are there. And Jazz are also there. So let's put an asterisk just so like what was I going to say? I'm going to put an asterisk next to them just because they're not going to be good week 1, but from then on they're fine. So if you forget what it means, maybe come back to this part. But I forgot what I was going to say now. If I was going to look at other teams that have got decent runs, it's kind of hard when you see all 30 teams lined up like this. It's got to be, you kind of want to look for, if you're going to have a look at this chart, you're going to have a look at if there's only 2 here. Like kind of ignore if there's this third column here. So for example, you've got Boston who have 4 threes and 3 fours. So there's 3 of those 4 weeks where they play 4 games. I know this doesn't make sense to myself, but it does in my head. But yeah, if you're struggling for guys, I think Atlanta's probably the worst one, or Cavs. They've got the same schedule actually, so they're technically the out of these 6, the worst, which is not actually bad. It's just compared to these 4 for the start. I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, look at these as well because there'll be a 23 where, for example, Indiana play. There's 5 times that they have weeks of 3 games and 2 fours, and then there'll be weeks where there's Memphis who have 3 weeks where they play 4 games and 4 times where they play 3 games in 1 week. So just put that in perspective as well. Because I know it's just 1 game, but still can make a difference to, like, if you want to play the ranking game, then it might make a difference. That's for sure. Yeah, teams to. So I've kind of talked about teams to look at. It's your choice at the end of the day who you want to go for. This is more for primos, in my opinion, because you could have, for example, I think a lot of people should have Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd with Houston have got the worst start to the season. Where's Houston? Oh, I can't find them. Oh, they'd be up here. So they've got three twos, three threes, and two fours, and then another three after. It's too inconsistent to have Kevin Durant on your team, but it's fine to have a guy like Reed Shepherd, um, who's only there to make money for you because he's in that starting point guard role, and the whole break even system is going to be fine because it kind of relaxes the break even the lesser games you play because you're only supposed you. I'm pretty sure it makes sense when I say it. Like they're not going to have a break even of what more than what they are because they're playing two compared to like a guy that's playing three. That wouldn't make sense. So it's fine to go with guys that are not playing, in my opinion. So I know Charlotte have got. There's a center there, Cork Brenner, who's a guy people have been talking about, which is good. A guy to bring in. I'm trying to think of some other blokes. Yeah, I don't know. We'll move on. We'll go to the teams to avoid. So I've talked about Houston already. They are the number one team to avoid for the first 8 weeks, week 9 and onwards. Um, so from week 9 onwards, you have these 3 weeks to kind of get your Houston players, and then I want to lose track of where the line is going to be, but you can have a look on the website. They have a really good stretch towards the end of the season. Another team is Philadelphia that I've put down because they've got in the first 7 they play 4. There's 4 weeks where they play 4 games, and then they've got twos. They've got 2 twos and 1 3. So it's a bit too inconsistent in my opinion. But if you want to go for, like I said, a VJ Edgecombe, or if you're willing to take that risk, because we do have that flex position where I think it's okay to have one guy on your court who's going to have a two, because who knows, maybe they perform better than Joe Blow, and the flex can take away Joe Blow's thing. So it's not real. It's not much of a. It's not a win-win, but it's not a lose-lose, if that makes sense. Those are easily the worst. Trying to think. So I've got Magic from week 6 onwards. I'll just find that. So yeah, they've got 2 4 2. Oh God. Goodness me, sorry. So this is week 6. So they've got 3 twos and 1 4, and then they have 3 fours back to back, and then 2 back to back twos. I'll just see if I can. There we go. So there's no threes at all. It's super inconsistent unless you're going to have them at this spot here for your threes. Like if you're going to go with that, fair enough, do it. Catch them in for those weeks, and then trade them out when they've got the twos. And then I've got down the Lakers potentially, yeah, because their start's okay. Like it's 3-4-3-4. Then you've got 2-3-4-2-2, and then you've got 3-3-3-5. They've got 2-5, so maybe you want to try and pick them up around here. Yeah, that's basically the teams I've got for me to avoid. Well, this is just me personally. You could go the same with the Clippers. After week 2, you'd go for them for 3-4 weeks in a row. And then I talk about the consistency. So Spurs and Wolves, they don't have a 2 going up until week 9. Those are the only teams, which kind of correlates with this, but I'll get to the Kings in a second. So they don't play. It's okay. Like I said with the Spurs, it's reliable to have a Timberwolves guy and a Spurs guy. I mean, for example, I've got Wembanyama on my team. I've changed my team a lot now that I've really thought about this. So Wembanyama's on my team now. I'm fine with that. I know he's got 5 threes in a row here, but he'll be my captain going into like week 8 and week 9. Yeah, pretty much because there's no like Giannis isn't playing and Jokic isn't playing. Yeah, so Wolves, Kings, and Spurs. The Kings, I will note. I won't go into it too deep. They just play the two beforehand, so it's fine. I reckon they're okay to go for in week 6 or week 7. Sorry, but look at that. You've got from Atlanta to Houston play 4. Like I said, if you've got your flex player playing 4 games, because it will cancel out your worst player, you'll be fine. And if it's a Kings player, then hopefully that's pretty tragic, I'll be honest. But then their run's actually okay towards the back end of the season because that's 8 and 9, then another 3, 4, 3, 3 fours, and then it's just one off one on, one off towards the end. But yeah, that's the talking points I had for this. Like I said, I'll leave a description. I'll leave a link in the description. Sorry, these were my. Obviously, this is my notes page. You can, like I said, take a screenshot of this and how many games they do play. I just do want to find. Did I? Here we go. So you're probably wondering why I did this, but I was trying to find the easiest schedule to start, and I just did the first 20. So this you might want to put into perspective as well when it comes to choosing your players. So I asked AI on my Microsoft, um, just being descriptive, just to paint a picture for them, comparing all 30 team schedules, rank all of them easiest to hardest. They didn't do it properly. And then they finally did. So the 5 easiest here is Utah, New Orleans, Phoenix, Dallas, and Spurs, according to this. I'm not going to trust AI fully, but for example, you could go up on Dallas guys because they've got AD and other blokes. Spurs, you go on Victor, could go with Jalen Green or Devin Booker. I'm thinking I really want to bring Zion if he has a good opening week. Utah's good as well because, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look too easy, I'll be honest. So they got Rockets, Pistons, Magic, Spurs, Raptors, Pacers, Bulls, I'd say, Thunder, Kings, Hawks, Cavs, Knicks, Warriors, Nuggets, Suns. Like, it's got to be that, potentially that, potential. So I'm probably going to ignore that. So that's why you don't trust AI. Jazz, I'm probably not going to touch with a 10-foot pole when it comes to Lowry, I'll be honest. Not that I don't rate him. It's just scheduling. But guys like Wemby and you've got AD and D'Lo potentially. Other teams here, you got Detroit, so you can go for Cade or Thompson or Duran. Hawks as well. Like their first week, they've got Wizards, Hornets. That's just a bit bizarre. And then they've got Jazz, Blazers. They've got Nets. Orlando as well. They've got Hornets in their first game, Wizards third, Jazz fifth, Blazers sixth, Raptors seventh, and then Nets eighth. So they're all very like easier games there. And then these are the harder ones. Like once again, you can if you want to get this on your AI, that's what I wrote down. So just copy and paste it. And then if it doesn't give you all 30, could you do all 30 teams? But then the harder ones, obviously Washington, they have a super hard schedule. So I'm probably going to avoid guys like Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum, but I might, I've got a lot of guys on my watch list. I've got a watch list on Cam Whitmore. Nuggets, it doesn't really matter for Jokic because, Thunder, they play Hartenstein, who's like serviceable against Jokic. Warriors finally got a center in Al Horford, but I don't think he's going to keep up with him. Bucks, like they can, they've got Turner. Celtics don't have any heat. I don't think. Well, I think they'll struggle. Suns will struggle. Clippers won't. Bulls won't. Kings might. Grizzlies will. Bulls will. Nets will. Raptors will. I feel Hawks might. Magic might. Pacers yes. Lakers yes. So that doesn't really matter for Jokic. It's just the actual teams, like the. I don't know if that makes sense. Same with the Warriors. Like I know that these are their first three games, but then they've got Bucks, Celtics, Heat, Knicks, and then Cavs, Sixers, Suns, Clippers, and then Wolves. That, and then that's three, and that's two. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was trying to like hold and scroll, not hold and scroll, hold and click and hold um, their game weeks. It's 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, so I've done that. I feel like that's another thing to really look at. Teams you want to go for easier. I know Jazz might not statistically that it's the easiest, but you know they're also shit. But same with Pels as well, kind of except for Zion. But like Mavericks and San Antonio, Detroit, um, Raptors, Magic, Hawks, like those are good teams to go for. So I just wanted to bring that up as well. Don't trust AI fully, but that's what I've got for the first 7 weeks. I'll quickly touch back on the week 8 and 9. So I mentioned Wolves, Kings, and Spurs. Um, it's fine to have Hawks, Bulls like these guys because they have 1 week where it's a 2, the other week where it's a 3. By the looks of it, there's more times that it's week 9. So like Raptors, Spurs, Kings, Wizards, Knicks, Wolves, Heat, Rockets, Bulls, and Hawks. Whereas the Pacers, Pels, Suns, that's it. Pacers, Pels, Suns have 3 at the first, but 2 in the next. So I think it's probably more key to go for your threes in game week 9 and not so much in game week 8. I say game week 8 like it's EPL, sorry. But yes, just put that into perspective. I would rather have not Pels, Suns, or Pacers in week 8. I'd rather have the other teams over them, even though they have a 2. They'll have a week 3 after, and you'll get points, I reckon, more often compared to the other week. But yeah, sorry this video has dragged out quite a bit. I thought it would be a bit quicker to explain, but that's my thinking going with the schedule. Hopefully, enough people see it and kind of put this into perspective and get a good grasp of how they want to do it. I'll just remind you, because it's been nearly half an hour of me talking. We get every week we get 3 trades, no matter what. It's just we get 5 weeks or 5. We get 5 opportunities to use one more. So there's no 60 trades, for example, and if I think you need a trade every week to make your team the best it can. Also, with it's going to be similar to AFL fantasy compared to Supercoach, where every game that the AFL player plays, they make money off their break even that first game. Whereas in Supercoach, it takes 2 games. But considering that they play 3 games or 2 games in a week, they will hit their break even during the week, except for teams of the Bulls, Nuggets, Pels, and Jazz. If there's a guy like Zion who's absolutely dominating and you think he's going to go up in price, go for him because his price will rise in his 3rd game as long with his 4th and 5th game in that second week. Same with guys like Giddy. I reckon Giddy's going to be a good shout. Yeah, I need to find a way to get him in. But I'll show you in my team reveal. I have a little bit of cash to work with, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in to my NBA schedule week 1s to 9 breakdown. I am thinking I'll do the same, but obviously in a later period. Maybe in a month I'll plan it out, and maybe during that week 8-9 period where there's not many games playing, I could probably publish the best guys you want to go for in the second third, and then the last third. But yeah, thank you again for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully, you take some of the insight that I've had going into it. Let me know if I've missed any teams with a good schedule or anything. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.